What happened on Twitter, Captain? I accidentally set the FF side of Twitter on fire again, except this time it was intentional. This time it was intentional. But I mean, I don't mean it in a trolly way. I genuinely mean everything that I said. All right? I meant what I said in this tweet. And we are going to get to it right now. All right. Let me have a drink of water. And then let's do this. So. Get a 4K screen? Yeah, I'm going to make a note right now. Hang on. Just 1 second. I'm going to make a note right now. Outside moments. Buy a 4K second monitor. There we go. All right. Now I made my note. So. All right. Let's continue. Where are we? Shitstravaganza? Okay, here we go. So, in light of... Hang on, how do I... So basically, in light of all the news going around, Square, like, laying off a lot of employees, them wanting to make more money, FF7 Rebirth not selling well, FF16 not selling well, and honestly, I will also say one last thing. FF15, a game like that will never sell well ever again, okay? The reason that game sold at all is because, one, it was the first FF for the PS4. Two, huge, enormous marketing campaign, including Kingslave and whatever. Three, it wasn't FF13. Four, it wasn't Stormblood. And from the trailer, it fooled people. It looks like it might be good again. To the point where it was quite a common story that many people pre-ordered the deluxe edition, like me and one of my friends here. In fact, you probably did the exact same thing too. And then you played it, thinking we are so back. And then a few hours in, that dreadful sneaking realization creeps up on you. Wait a minute. This is shit. Okay? That's a trick. FF15 pulled a trick that can only be pulled once. Alright, there's a reason 16 sold really shit after that. You played the demo and realized it was shit, Peanut? Yeah. But I was unemployed, you know, I had nothing to do. I just bought my PS4. It seemed like a good idea at the time. What else? Yeah. If FF15 was called... If any other company released that game and it wasn't called Final Fantasy, that game would have bombed and it would have destroyed that company. So, yeah. Anyway, let's continue. So, yes, it sold a lot, but this is a trick you can only pull once. It won't work again. It won't work again. So, and it would have had some Versus 13 hype as well, Rowie. So, anyway, since modern fans love to basically, you know, how would I say this? A lot of modern FF fans have no issue throwing their hat in this arena, saying what their opinion is, what they think, you know, is good or bad, and so on and so forth. And they treat their opinion like fact. All right. Okay. So everything they accuse me of, they basically do themselves. Okay. However, I'm going to give my reasoning for why I think the things I do. And basically, I added Square and I said, Dear Square Enix, if you want Final Fantasy games to sell more again, you need to focus on the original fan base. Think FF4 to 10, not the modern fans, all right? Because modern FF fans will excuse sluggish pacing, like what we saw with FF16, FF14, Rebirth, yeah, it's just, 15, what the hell even is 15? The modern fans will excuse the worst story pacing ever. Also, one original Ryan. Thank you for the Primu. Appreciate that. Modern fans do... OG fans and normal people do not excuse that, all right? We don't have time to have Clive go and buy garlic, okay? And in FF16, you could have deleted the entire desert segment and absolutely nothing of value would have been lost. Nothing. Those of you who played it probably don't even remember what you do in that area. No one does. Modern fans will also excuse tone-deaf cringe. And by that, I mean like Prompto from FF15.
Oh, hi there, opening. Where is the money? We're in the money. I just want to ride my chocobo all day. Stairs, they go on forever. They go on and on and on.
Okay, that kind of stupid musical theater kid, shut the fuck up cringe, all right? That, they excuse that, okay? They also excuse the brutal, relentless cringe of FF7 Rebirth. It's like merciless there. And anyone who says that the Golden Age Final Fantasies had that cringe as well, no, they didn't. They had whimsical charm, all right? They had charm that you could say it was cute, you could say it was amusing or funny, but it was not cringe. The first great cringe moment in the history of Final Fantasy was the Tidus laugh in FF10, all right? And while 10 is a great game and it's the last great Final Fantasy, that scene sucks balls, okay? Yes, I understand it. It's possible to understand the scene and still think it sucks, all right? Now, Tidus laugh defenders do not understand this. They think if you understand the scene, you have to like it, all right? That's literally how their brains are wired, because that scene is a literal mind virus that rewires their brain programming, okay? They cannot understand it. They can't understand that some people, that people know what the context of the scene is and can still think it sucks balls, okay? Anyway, what else do we have? Yes, the tone-deaf cringe doesn't help. And I would say the cringe, FF16 is cringe for different reasons. It's cringe because the swearing is hello fellow kids, all right? This is not swearing like Tarantino or Scorsese. This is just like, the swearing in FF16 feels like, bet you thought Final Fantasy wasn't cool, huh? Well, check this out. He just said fuck. That's badass. You know what I mean? It's just not, it's not well used. It's just amateur. It's fan fiction swearing for the most part. There's a few good swears. I would say the best swears in FF16 are like a couple of NPCs. They're like two guards. There's like a guard who's like, he's like, we're not taking any more refugees, so fuck off. All right, he sounded good. And there's another one who I think he's trying to rally his men because if they don't, Titan's gonna kill them all. And he's like, get it done now, or we're all fucking dead. All right, those two non-main characters made it sound fine. Power Trip, thank you for the 46 Mandaru. I appreciate that. Modern fans will also excuse mid-tier action combat. Yes, this is a controversial take, all right, but it's also true, okay? FF15's combat, I wouldn't even say is mid-tier, all right? It's dog shit. Hold down circle, and Noctis will just spam combos. Are you for real? This is rubbish. They could have just copy-pasted Kingdom Hearts 1 or Kingdom Hearts 2 into 15 and just reskinned it, and that would have been better than what they did with 15. Anyone who says 15's combat is good, you have not played other games, all right? It's rubbish, okay? It's shit. Kingdom Hearts is better combat. Dark Souls is better combat. As for FF16, look, any Devil May Cry fan will tell you it's insulting to compare 16 to Devil May Cry, right? It's like a shallow version of it. It's cutscene simulator, all right? And Devil May Cry's combat slaughters that. Dark Souls combat slaughters 16. 7 Remake Rebirth. Here's the thing. I actually think 7 Remake Rebirth's combat is better than 15 and 16. I had more fun with it. It's, I enjoyed playing as Barret, Tifa, Cloud. Cat Sith was fun when he stayed on his giant fucking Moogle. Cat Sith should never be off as a Moogle, by the way, all right? It's stupid when he's just by himself as a cat. They were all fun, but if I were to straw man FF7 Rebirth's combat, all right? If I were to do to it what its defenders do to me and other games, all right, I would say that it plays like Dynasty Warriors with a $200 million budget. Sorry, 300 million. And you fight against FF14 raid bosses, all right? Okay, that's me straw manning it, all right? And you know what? It's also true. These bosses in FF7 Rebirth are just basically FF14 raid bosses. Big arena with boss just hovering on the edge. Here come the lines. Don't stand in the lines. Okay, boom. Here come the circles. Don't stand in the circles. Boom. Minus 50 DKP to Yuffie. When the enemy raises its arm up, just imagine a big yellow triangle on the ground, all right? Don't stand in that, okay? These are MMO raid mechanics, except you play like a Dynasty Warriors character who has bullet time ATB slapped onto it. I don't think it's that amazing. No, here's the thing. I still had fun, a bit of fun with the combat, but I don't think it's this revolutionary, amazing new thing. There's a reason that the Souls community, there's a reason that people who love action games are not playing this game, all right? That game is carried entirely by the nostalgia for FF7. If you made a game with that combat and it wasn't FF7, it just wouldn't do nearly as well. So, the padding was appalling. Yeah, well, that's what I mean when I say sluggish pacing there, Taurus. So, lastly, yeah, MMO, modern fans will excuse MMO design in a single player game. And I just listed it all right there. Same with all the side quests in FF7 Rebirth, you know, talk to NPC, they cycle through the usual, like, FF14 body language things, hands on hips, crossed arms, arm gesture forward, then you go off, kill 15 slimes, escort a cat back, and then they sing you a song, all right? It's MMO design. It's not that great. So yeah, modern fans will excuse all this. Not only will they excuse this, but they will insult and attack you for criticizing these this poor game design, okay? This poor craftsmanship, okay? Now, old school FF fans and normal gamers do not excuse those things, and they don't have patience for them. That's why they don't buy them, all right? That's why sales are down. Modern Final Fantasy fans have only one standard, all right? That the game is called Final Fantasy. If you call your game Final Fantasy, modern fans will buy it. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do to get these people to buy it. Just call it FF, all right? These people have read the Leslie novella. Look at this. Look at this. These people, right? Look at this. Look at this. You see this? Modern fans read shit like this. Final Fantasy VII. The Kids Are Alright, a Turk's side story about Leslie, Don Corneo's doorman in FF7 Remake, leading up to the events of Advent Children. Okay, that's where Leslie is from. You ever wonder where Don Corneo's doorman in Remake comes from? That's him. Also, what else? Kyrie. I think Kyrie comes from this as well. Okay, the modern fans will read this, and then if you haven't read it, they'll say that you're a fake fan. All right? It's easy, okay? It's easy to get the modern fans to buy Final Fantasy, all right? Call it Final Fantasy. That's it. That's the one requirement. It's done. Right, anyway. Next of all, modern fans will say turn-based combat is dead, all right? But if FF17 was turn-based, they'll buy it in 1 second, okay? They'll buy it on launch. And then when it's out on PC, they'll buy it again a year later, all right? And they would have done the same for 15, 16, and 7R, all right? They make excuses for, okay, okay, let me put it this way. When they defend this, when they defend like the bad ARPG or the mid-tier combat of, you know, modern FF, that's like when Bloodborne fans defend the Blood Vial potion system, all right? That system sucks ass. There's a reason we use Estus flasks in Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Elden Ring, and so on and so forth. There's a reason no one complains about Estus flasks, but everyone complains about farming blood vials, okay? And if Bloodborne had Estus flasks, no one would ask for that system to instead be replaced with something like blood vials, all right? It's cope, okay? It's cope. If all these games were turn-based, they would fucking buy them anyway. You know why? Because it's Final Fantasy. Okay? And if they don't buy it, then they're not a real fan. There you go. So, Alpacalypse! Thank you very much for that raid. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. So, if Souls games became turn-based, that'd be a terrible idea. That would be an appalling idea. Oh my god. Koopa Trooper. Barrett has to say, you were right. So, okay. And here's the thing. Because all these people then went on and bought Expedition 33. They also bought every other turn-based game in existence. They bought Persona, they bought Metaphor, they bought Bravely Default, they bought Octopath Traveler, and they bought Dragon Quest. All right? If Final Fantasy was turn-based, they would buy it too. Okay? They would fucking buy it in 1 second, and they'll buy it twice. Once on console, and then a year later on PC. So they can mod bigger boobs for Tifa. And you know what? You all right. Okay? Understood. Have a nice day. So, if you make Final Fantasy for the OG fans, okay, then the OG fans will buy it, right? Modern fans will buy it because they'll buy anything, and normal gamers will buy it too. That's the main thing. You don't just get double this, you get triple, okay? Because normal gamers don't want a game that's made for everyone, okay? They want a game that understands its core audience and hyper specializes into that. That's why the games that everyone, this normal audience, right? What are the games that they play, okay? Subnautica, Vampire Survivors, Last of Us 1, God of War 4, Nier Automata, okay? FF10, OG FF7, Chrono Trigger, what else? Cult of the Lamb, trying to think of what other things. Among Us, E33, so on and so forth, alright? What do these games have in common? Fucking nothing, okay? Balatro, they have nothing in common, except that they go 100% into their specific genre. They know their audience, and they go all the way in. They're not trying to be for everyone. They're just trying to be, they know, at the things that people want, or the things that they're trying to do, they go all into that, okay? Alright. What the fuck is on me? Thank you for the tip. Glad to see you streaming more. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that. So, what else is there? What other games does everyone play? You know, Mortuary Assistant, fuck it, Until Dawn. You know, these games go all in to their the one thing that they're meant to do, or the few things they're meant to do. Modern Final Fantasy is trying to be literally everything, you know what I mean? Like, instead of making Sid and Vincent playable in Rebirth, they're making like 100 boring side quests with 200 boring new characters. They're doing Queen's Blood, who fucking cares, okay? If you could choose between having Queen's Blood in the game or having Vincent be playable, what are you going to choose? What are you going to choose? Be fucking honest. We all know the answer. It's 100% on Vincent. Okay. FF15, all right? I mean, my God, that game came out completely unfinished. What would you want, okay? FF15 to be finished on launch, or for it to have a fishing game? A fishing game. Where you don't even catch Final Fantasy fish. You catch fish that exist in real life. You know what other games do that? Every other fishing game in fucking existence. If you're gonna do a 15 fishing, if you're gonna do an FF fishing game, catch Final Fantasy fish. It's stupid. It's all dumb. It's ridiculous. So yeah. All right. Anyway, let us continue. You like Queen's Blood, and it's still 100% Vincent. There you go. Exactly. Atilicus, welcome in. Pablito, welcome in. So, why try to fix it wasn't broken, Mean Joe Green? Well, exactly. Exactly. And that's why I continue on to this part, alright? You can't make a Final Fantasy that will satisfy both new fans and old, alright? They're two different. They are the polar opposite in almost every way. That is like trying to make a food that will be loved by both vegans and carnivores, alright? It cannot be done. You can't do this. Not even Gordon Ramsay or that 3-star chef in South Korea can make a dish that both vegans and carnivores are gonna love equally. It can't be done. You gotta choose one. So, and the thing is, when you choose the old fans, the new fans will just buy it anyway, okay? A game for everyone is a game for no one. Final Fantasy 4 to 10 is one of the best 10-year winning streaks in video game history. And it's insane that that was only a 10-year span. That's actually nuts. Like, really think about that. The first great FF was 4, and the last great FF was 10. That was 91 to 2001. That's fucking unreal, man. These games weren't always perfect, alright? You know, 8's not perfect, but even 8, which people can argue is the worst of that series, they are still timeless classics. They still have mainstream appeal. Modern Final Fantasy is neither of those things. Just go on bloody Twitch, man. Go on bloody Twitch. People are still streaming and playing and making YouTube videos of their first playthrough of FF10, FF8, FF9, FF6, FF7. You know what they're not streaming? FF15, FF12, 13, alright? 16. The only time I saw anyone ever stream 16 was actually after E33. We're like, man, I just need more games like this. What else is there? Someone recommended 16. I hopped into a stream, and this poor woman just looked miserable every single time I hopped in. Every single time I was there. It was amazing. It was a miracle, you know? Didn't matter where she was in the game or what she was doing. She looked miserable every time she was streaming 16, and I think she didn't even finish it. So, yeah. It's just ridiculous. I bet you right now, I might be wrong, but every time I look at OGFF7 on Twitch and I look at Rebirth, OGFF7 has more viewers and more people streaming it. It's just, like, the original, the golden age of FF are timeless classics. They are must-plays, they have mainstream appeal, and they still continue to sell to this day. They will always be relevant. Modern FF, at best, can sell a lot on launch hype and then be forgotten about in a month. And never sell ever again, all right? Well, like, when we talk about, like, E33, for example, with absolutely no advertisement other than just pure word of mouth, sold 5 million copies, it's outsold 16, it's outsold Rebirth, and it's not going to stop, all right? 16 will not continue to sell, okay? E33 will. That will continue to sell basically for the next decade, for all time probably, because it's one of those games. It's like The Witcher 3, the Mass Effect trilogy, Last of Us 1, God of War 4, Nier Automata, FF7, FF10, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3. It's one of those games, and it always will be. Baldur's Gate 3. So, that's the difference. Like, it's not, if you think it's stopping at 5, you're wrong. Alright. Let's catch up with some chats. You played E33 on Game Pass, you liked it so much that you bought it. Yeah, no, a lot of people just, yeah, they were just like, fuck man, I need more of this. You can't throw anyone at a game to director and butchered it. Yeah, well, that's the thing, Pablito. They gotta find, either get Sakaguchi back or get someone who can do what he did, alright? Because there are a lot of geniuses who work at Square, but they're like mad scientists, alright? You need someone to, like, reel them in, tell them we're not going to use all of your ideas, and then focus the best ideas they all have into one coherent whole, because they don't have that right now. If 13 was on PS5, you'd stream it, Angel? Yeah. Well, it's on PC, but, like, isn't it like it doesn't run without mods or something? It's fucked. Ascalon, you've seen 4 streamers this week stream Chrono Trigger for the first time. Exactly, man. Exactly. Oh my god, Silver Grail. No, that does, no. Vegans, that's not how vegans and carnivores work. So, here we go. Alright. You on this carnivore diet? Can't keep that fast food away from me? Fuck. It's crazy how well FF7 still holds up. No, it really does. It really does, man. In fact, if you just listen to its soundtrack, like, you listen to the Mako Reactor song, Oppressed People, Under the Rotting Pizza, Costa del Sol, Calm, these Anxious Heart, these songs have such powerful atmosphere. Sid Highwind's theme, Cosmo Canyon, it's timeless. Lost Odyssey, I need to borrow my friend's Xbox for that. Corel Prison, exactly. Hope you're enjoying that, Kawaii. Vegas, welcome in. Thank you for enjoying the FF16 video. Yeah. So, discussing the obvious, Vital? Yeah, but I mean, well, to a lot of people it's not obvious. So, yeah. Anyway, let us continue. Well, so as you can see, chat, that tweet I made, it's not even, God, when did I make it? It's not even 1 day old. It's 19 hours old. 95,000 views. Let's round it up to 200. 1,100 likes, 200 tweets, 350 comments. Not ratioed, so think about that. And if you want, guys, here is the link to it in chat. I'll call it Sebby's FF tweet. Feel free to go there, boost the signal, give it a like, give it a repost. If you do argue with people in the comments, please be civil. All right, please be civil. They may treat you and me with zero respect, but that doesn't mean you have to be like them, all right? When arguing with modern Final Fantasy fans, don't be like them, okay? Don't let them drag you down to their level. That's all I'll say. Anyway. So anyway, that was my passionate discussion regarding all this. And the thing is, like, look, I'm going to give my complete honest opinion here. I think FF is dead. I think it's a dying franchise. It's been dying for like 20 years straight. And I'm not talking about money here. I'm talking about just like its relevance, its artistic merits and stuff, you know? Like, who the fuck tells someone to rush out and play 15 or 16, you know, or 12 or 13, you know what I mean? I don't think it's coming back, and I think the only way it can... Okay, it seems like they're getting rid of their Western ethics department. I don't know. Maybe they are. I mean, all that does is aim at like the worst people in our culture, to be perfectly honest. You know, I don't think the ethics department does any good for anyone. And they gotta get someone like Sakaguchi. Either get him back or get someone like Sakaguchi. Someone who can focus these mad geniuses into a tight, coherent, singular whole. Because modern FF's problems are, I've listed them all here, cringe, bloat, go back to turn-based, alright. And I'll tell you why, because action combat and turn-based combat move at different paces. They move at different speeds. And the speed that turn-based combat moves at is more cinematic. It's better cinematically, alright? And we all saw that happen in, well, you know, we all know the game. As for action combat, right, it just, if you're gonna do action combat, you gotta do it better. You gotta do it better, man. Like, you can't say you want to make Souls money and then do a Devil May Cry ripoff. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know it's the same director, but you know what I mean, all right? And get the FF14 design out of the single-player games. My God, like seriously, get that out of it, man. It's not good. Okay, keep that. It's fine in 14. It's fine. Who would have thought? MMO design is fine in an MMO, but it's not fine in a single-player game. It just doesn't work. Doesn't make sense. So, yeah. Stop doing the Titus laugh. It's contagious. Never. I will never stop. So, yeah, and you'll see a lot of modern fans actually arguing. They're doing the usual thing, all right? Well, actually, FF4 to 9 weren't actually turn-based. They were ATB. Only FF1 to 3 and 10 were turn-based. Now, actually, listen. Shut your fucking face, all right? Normal gamers, normal people do not see or care about the minor insignificant difference between turn-based and ATB, all right? ATB is turn-based with one extra step, all right? If you are a normal person, you see, in all those games, you see people taking turns. It's fucking turn-based to them, all right? It's ridiculous to even suggest such a thing. No, but people are actually dying on this hill. People are dying on this hill so hard that some are arguing that FF7 Remake and Rebirth is turn-based because it has ATB. The dishonesty of some people is on literal apocalyptic levels. It is unbelievable. Look, you want to defend it, you want to like it, fine. But say what it is, man. Just say what it is. Like, my God. Like, by that logic, right, is GTA fucking turn-based? Because when it's time for you to select your weapon, it goes super slow motion when you're choosing your weapon. Is now GTA, like, ATB turn-based? Like, get the fuck out of here. It's just, be honest, man. Fucking be honest. People are saying 7 Remake has a turn-based mode. Do you know what 7 Remake's turn-based mode is? Do you know what it is? The entire game plays on autopilot. Movement, blocking, dodging, attacking, the game does that all for you. It just runs around doing that. All you do is sit back and do nothing until the ATB bar is filled up. Then you choose an ATB attack. Then you sit back and you do that all again. From what I've seen, that is what classic mode is. And some people have the fucking audacity to say that that is turn-based. You gotta be out of your mind. You gotta be out of your mind. No one cares if you like these games, but be honest about them. Be honest about them. That's why I make these tweets. It's why I make these videos, because the endless gaslighting and the lies and the dishonesty, the insult throwing, the name calling, and the bullying around this series is unreal. It's infuriating to watch. So, anyway. Do they say ATB makes it not turn-based? Look, they just say here's the thing. Because ATB is exactly the same as turn-based, but you wait for bars to fill up, they will argue that this is as different. There are people who act like ATB is a whole different genre. Like, it's as different as, like, RTS, or FPS, or Souls-like, or Cooking Mama 2, all right? They will argue it's as different as that. It's just unbelievably dishonest. It's ridiculous. So, all right. Not fucking about, chat. Not fucking about. Let's do this. It's time. We all came here. Look, we've had a FF7 rant over. We've done our tweet. In the meantime, enjoy the sweet musical sounds of Risk of Rain. I fucking love this game. It's so good.